surveillance role players. Not gang stalkers, surveillance role players. Rise and shine, Gucci gang. Start calling y'all Gucci gang, but not for the reasons that you think. Surveillance role players, y'all. That's what they're calling them. That is what these gang stalkers are apparently called. Okay, now I've talked about gang stalking a lot on this channel, as well as on the prosperity portal, before I started doing what I'm doing now on the prosperity portal. And here's the thing, y'all. I told y'all this a few times now in the past few weeks. Did it rain again last night? Sure did. It's just been raining and raining. I told y'all this a few times. The less you pay attention to things that you do not desire to be a part of, the less that things that you don't want to be a part of have power and control over you. Okay, where focus goes, that's where energy flows. I know very much so that it seems hard in the grand scheme of things when people are constantly following you, people are constantly tracking you, and all of that. But then you do get to a point, or I'm gonna just say, I know I damn sure did, where you just realize that, like, wait, why am I so pressed about these motherfuckers who are so pressed about me, when at the end of the day, they're watching me? They're following me around and they're not doing a damn thing. All they're doing is simply observing. They're witnessing me living my everyday life. Meanwhile, they're not living theirs. So it really does get to a point where you recognize that, like, technically you are the powerful one, not them. They're not the powerful one, because they need you to keep making movements in order to have a job to do in the first place. And apparently they get paid $15 an hour. $15 an hour to give up your life? That sounds pathetic. I'm not gonna lie to you, it sounds pathetic. I've been seeing a lot of stuff, and I know it's because I am on a new timeline. I know I'm on a frequency where this is where all this information just starts pouring out, right? Going down all types of rabbit holes. I technically have been down these rabbit holes, but this is really I think sparked by way of what we're experiencing right now with this government shutdown. Everybody's going to be affected by this in some way, shape, or form. All right. Whether it's healthcare related or food related. Okay. There's some that is being impacted. There's someone that is being impacted by this government shutdown, no matter how you look at it. It's not just about poor people. It's not just about people who are on government, okay, because they're lazy. It's about people who have disabilities, children, okay, who clearly obviously can't go and get a job. It is about senior citizens. It is about your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your uncles, your aunts, your whoever, right? Who rely on certain services, certain programs that are no longer accessible at this moment. And what is it all about? It's all about power, just like the surveillancers. It's all about power. But I think this is the time where we recognize that the power is in our hands, because if much of what we see here today is all brought to you by way of the tax dollars, why the fuck would you continue to spend your hard-earned money on government affairs? Stop paying taxes. Stop consuming. Stop buying from big corporations. Stop buying into the agendas. Stop feeding the system that was not built for Black and brown people in the first place. That's the first step. That's the first step. And let's be for real. The majority of recipients on SNAP are actually not Black and brown people. They're white. Okay. So, as much as white people thought that this was going to be a people of color problem, this is a everybody problem. Because now they're realizing, don't care if you a Democrat or Republican, at the end of the day, the government being shut down means that those majority recipients ain't gonna eat either unless they find another way. And you can't tell, go get a job, go work, because aren't people being laid off right now? Oh, okay. So I just think that it's interesting that whenever I'm seeing people pop up on my timeline, and I'm specifically talking about TikTok, who are on the same type of time that I'm on, they're finally catching up. They're here, and it's exciting. I ain't gonna lie, it's actually exciting. But I think it's that people are finally catching on to what's been going on, what's been happening, and even though I thought that it was going to be a little bit easier than this, it seems like people are on, but at the same time, they're not catching on and then figuring out solutions. They're catching on and then saying, oh my gosh, I'm afraid. What are you afraid of? The only thing that you should fear is doing nothing, because you have the capacity to do something. You have the capacity to change what we see and experience in this world. And it's up to you to believe that this is true and foremost, because it doesn't make any difference if I tell you that you have the power if you don't believe it at the end of the day once I stop this live stream. So everything that we're experiencing right now is what? A mandate. It's a mandatory that we come together. No more of this bullshit competing. No more of this bullshit performing. No more of this putting on a show so that we can appease the masses, so that our reputation looks a particular way. Fuck a reputation. Let's talk about what's real. Let's talk about reality. Let's talk about what you're actually doing to make a change. And if you're not doing a fucking thing, well, we don't want to hear from you. I've been organizing actively on TikTok by way of just connecting with people, right? And then connect off of TikTok once I get their contact information and start building connections with them on the app. I've been building a system, a network for those who need help. I know that there are people in many different states right now, especially the southern states, where people are coming together to feed folks. Okay, they're putting together care packages, putting together boxes, and all that good stuff. I have compiled a list. I already have mentioned this before. I actually have updated the list. The link is in my bio. Okay, it says food resources. Okay, it'll be at the link in my bio on TikTok as well as on Instagram. All right. I don't think I've updated the link here on YouTube. But in any event, now is the time for us to think about how we can help one another. Okay. Not, okay, I got to help myself, because helping yourself isn't going to matter if, everybody else perishes, right? Figure out a way that we can all collectively be on one accord with one another. Okay. Spiritually, okay, the 111 folks. I don't know who all has been on this frequency. The 111 is following you, but the 111 is following me, y'all. Now this actually been for some years now, but over the last, I'll say, about 3 months, it's just been consistently just following me. Okay. 111, for me, it represents a few different things. Because I'm life path 1, I immediately think about, first and foremost, my path, right? My purpose here on this planet. But then I look at intuition 111 is an angel number, right? A repeating number is an amplification of that number, right? So what I'm noticing is that uh, it's not even that I'm listen, I don't have to try to align. I just am effortlessly being aligned with certain people, certain programs, certain whatever, right? That are all leading up to me being in my true purpose, right? And it's not to say that I'm not in my true purpose now. It's just saying I'm about to be in the the peak of it. Okay. Now, what is that for other people? Well, it's a good thing. It's a great thing actually, because it means that I have opportunities that I'm gonna be giving other people. And the thing is what I've realized, the first thing that I think is that I don't want to be here in America anymore. Uh, I do want to help in everything, and I am going to help, but I'm going to help in my own special way, and I want to help out of America. I already was telling my homegirl, like, I got a plan, okay? But honestly, I'm just being generous when I say that I'm going to get the fuck out of here sooner than that. Now, if anybody else is on that same type of time because you recognize what is about to start unfolding, holler at your girl, because I am trying to put together a group of people who pretty much want to be in this together. Okay. If you want to leave the country together and share resources, support one another, highlight our businesses, etc., etc. Yeah, that's what type of time I'm on. Um, the government is shut down, but that's just a power play. Okay. That's just a power play. In order to get people to do what you want, what do? You deprive them of their basic necessities. Okay. uh I just watched a TikTok that was basically it's like a hypothetical, right? Like, hypothetically, if the government restarts again, and comes back, says, well, the only way that you'll be able to eat is if you get this chip implanted, what will you do? Now, if y'all were paying attention about a decade ago, they were doing this already. They were talking about this whole presence of, technology really emerging and or advancing, and how there was going to come a time where we were going to have to be chipped up. Even how to access everything from our medical records to family history and all of that, right? By way of this chip. Now, obviously, I don't need to state the obvious. Why would it be dangerous for us to have a chip in a society that is ultimately controlled by these elites? It just makes it much easier to keep tabs on you. But keep in mind, smartphone, okay? Participating in social media in any way, shape, or form. These are also other ways that you give your consent to be monitored, to be observed, to be tracked, okay? I mean, even though it's illegal, okay, it's also not illegal, because when you get on the internet, you are basically giving your consent. I get on the internet every day understanding what I'm participating in, but I also understand that, number one, I don't have anything to hide, but number two, in order for me to organize, okay, I gotta be where the people are in order to communicate and organize with those people. So, yes, coming onto the internet fully aware that I am participating in some shit that is allowing me to be able to be monitored and tracked consistently. Cool, no problemo. But what I want to say, again, repeating this, it's time to leave America. For me. I can't speak for everybody else. Everybody got a different path, everybody got a different mission. Some people are meant to stay here and fight the good fight. Not. I'm meant to fight in my own special way, and I'm meant to organize in my own special way. I am here for the creatives, for the artists, for those who are founders or who are future founders who want to get something shaky, has purpose, that actually is shaping culture. Okay. We can return to the United States at any time. We could come back and help our people and all that good stuff. And we can find ways and systems to help our people even remotely without us being here, but like also do not feel attached to this place until this place is completely restored to its original, well, its original people, the indigenous folks. And if you have been awake and paying attention, we are the indigenous folks. Yeah, that's what they don't want you to know. We are the indigenous folks. So, with that being said, if we know that this is our land, but also we know we can't just go up in the White House and be like, give us our shit back. We got to be strategic. We got to know the system first and foremost in order to defeat the system. Okay. So that's what type of time I'm on. I was watching this um TikTok of this lady basically talking about how she feels. Well, she wasn't even talking about how she feels. She was channeling. Okay, she was channeling the new world, the new earth, basically. And some of the things that she was saying, some of the people that she was channeling, Nipsey Hussle, uh, Whitney Houston, Dr. Sabi, these, you know, what I'm realizing by the things that I've been seeing on my TikTok timeline, which I've built brick by brick, okay? Thank you, algorithm, for listening to me because I definitely immediately block anyone and anything that is not in alignment with what I care about, okay? Anything that lacks integrity, anything that is fear mongering, anything that is limited, okay, in thought, all right? I block it all, okay? And anything that is not black and brown coded, I block it because I know parts of that. But what I'm realizing is that I'm here. I'm in the I'm in the system, man. I'm in the point where they say this is the moment where you decide whether or not you're gonna sell your soul. Right? And obviously everybody knows what I'm not gonna do, right? It's obvious. But here's what I will say though. This is what makes my role even more uh detrimental. And I say detrimental because if I move sloppy and if I move regular old civilian after everything that I've said up until this point, then I was just asking to be sacrificed, okay? Because I know that ultimately now that they know that I'm not going to join their ass and that yes I'm going to beat them, I know that it's just going to amplify the target on me. Obviously, does that make me afraid? Fuck no. Please try me. Like I keep saying, please do try me. Please do. Because I am not leaving this planet until I fulfill my mission fully. I recognize that I'm on a new frequency and it's up to me to be accountable, to be consistent. It's up to me to stick to everything that I said I was going to do because this is where the distractions, well, shit, amplifies. Shit is going to increase, right? And that just gets me even more excited. My adrenaline pumping, actually. Yes, fuck yeah, hell yeah. Because I'm here to fight. I'm here to fight. And obviously, I don't mean physically, okay? I'm not here to fight physically. I'm too cute to be doing all that. I'm not battling nobody physically. Hell, no. You got me messed up. Don't put your hands on me though, because that ain't gonna be a good look for you. Okay. Yeah, I understand that I'm in the space now where like I move different. Okay. Now, if I want to move below under the radar, shit, I could do that too. I could do that too. But I also have to recognize that, like, I'm standing in this purpose fully and aware of. I don't want to say the potential threats. I'll just say aware of the opposition. Okay, I'm aware of the opposition, but I'm also aware that many people will benefit from if I do what I'm supposed to do and do not allow myself to be distracted. Oh, because they definitely sending in distractions. They trying to send in everything they possibly can, okay? It ain't working now. It's entertaining for sure. We're in a time now where we have to choose. Will you go with them folks, okay? Or will you come with us? Because you could go with them folks, and I promise you, your life ain't gonna be yours no more. You don't own your life even after you dead, okay? Even after you dead, you don't own your life. You don't. You sell your soul while you are here in a physical body, and nothing you do, even after you are out of this physical body, will be your will. And for those who don't believe that you have life after death, well, I ain't talking to you. Had this interesting dream last night that I've had a few times now, about me being a part of some. I guess I'm like a brand ambassador or something. I'm supposed to be a brand ambassador, and some, don't want to call them influencers. I'll just call them content creators. Some content creators I um, respect. They be showing up in the dreams. I guess they're part of the brand ambassadors or whatever. And basically, we're part of this cosmetic company, but the cosmetic, I keep having a feeling that they're a cult because everything is so secretive. They don't tell you much of anything. They just have all their little products and everything sitting on this table, and then they have these two white ladies that's they're like the representatives of the company or whatever. But what I believe in the dream, this, like in the dream, this is my thought process in the actual dream. I believe that the one of the ladies is actually the owner of the company. So the two other times that I had the dream, I didn't have this particular experience, what I'm about to tell you right now. But this time that I had the dream last night, this third time, right? In three times, third time's the charm, 333. That number is very significant. This third time, ended up going up to the lady, to both of the ladies, but I said, "You the owner of this company?" I said, "Why does shit feel like a cult?" I'm asking her, stuff, and they're denying it, obviously, both. But I'm looking at the lady. I'm like, no, she the owner. I know she the owner. Of course, you will hide in plain sight, etc., etc. I'm saying all these things in the dream, and at one point, I guess I'm like overwhelmed because I feel like there's so much that I have to maneuver. There's so much that I have to be responsible for, and so I start to feel overwhelmed and I start to cry. And at some point, as I'm starting to cry, Brooklyn and Deshay. I don't remember her last, the Frost, Brooklyn Frost. Is that her last name actually? For some reason, I kind of feel like that might not be their name. But anyway, let me continue. She is consoling me basically. She comes and like she like puts she stretches her arms out, and she is basically consoling me. And so it's just so crazy because uh before I had this dream, I was on stream yesterday or like evening, and I had woke up from a dream as well, and I was talking about how this pregnant girl who I know she's a content creator, but I still can't place her. I don't really know who she is. She was in the dream acting as my savior. Very interesting dream. So what I'm feeling like is happening is I'm being aligned with certain individuals who, hmm, let's just say they're individuals, but they are not willing to perform anymore. They realize that the pressure to perform is just, it's not worth it. Okay. So I don't really know what all this means in the grand scheme of things. It all boils down to me leaving America, etc., etc., etc. Maybe those are my people. I don't know. I just know that I've been a mentor for people for many on many occasions for many different years for young people in general who are easily misguided by motherfuckers who will have them to believe that they have to sell out in order to be successful. So I don't know where all this is going in the grand scheme of things, like I said, but I do know this. Right now, more than ever, we have the ability to rise the fuck up. We do. There's a lot of cult activity for sure. I believe this is why I'm dreaming about stuff like this. I believe that certain things that we choose to become a part of, whether it's because you got hired to do it as a job, or some type of affiliation to family, or whatever the case may be. I do believe that you need to be very mindful and very aware of what you're getting involved in, because some things are not what they appear. Okay, that's why I would be dreaming about some perfume or some cosmetic company that is secret cult. Okay, now of course they're not going to admit in the dream, yes, we're cult leaders. But that's what the fuck they are. Okay, they're showing up in my dreams. I don't know why they're showing up in my dreams, with the exception of, well, I am the expose. I do a lot of exposing, but like, I'm not really here to be the expose. I'm not really here to just, expose people. Like, I don't want that role. I really don't. And if I'm gonna be exposing people, I want it to be in a different way, not just, breaking news. Let me write an article. Okay, let me write a book. Anything but just, breaking news, because I don't want that role. I just don't want it. But I do feel I need to continue to inform people in my special way, because I know that I do have a specific way of communicating with people and connecting with people. So just be mindful of what you choose to participate in. That's what I will say. Be mindful of who you choose to collaborate with, and be aware that everything that looks good, everything that glitters, it ain't gold. It really ain't. Okay. So it's up to you to decide what you want to do and who you want to do it with. But just make sure that you are fully informed, so then you can't later be like, I didn't know. Well, you don't have any excuse not to. In fact, it'd be silly of you to walk blindly into anything, okay? Now, I know that there's a lot of performance and there's a lot of pretenders on the internet, but I do want to encourage you to trust that there are people out there that are not performing. There are people out there that are not pretending. There are people out there that legitimately want to help. Yes, they're far and few. It's true. There are very few of us, but there are people out there who are legitimately here. So find those people, okay? And don't look to anybody as like a leader, in the sense that, like, follow the leader. Look to people who are willing to lead, in the sense that they're willing to go against the grain, they're willing to go against mainstream society is doing, and do what they feel is in alignment with their soul, right? Do what they feel is in alignment with the greater good of all, right? Look to people who are leading in that way, but not in a sense that leader. Okay, because when I look at myself as a leader, I don't look at myself as someone who's leading to be followed. I'm looking at myself as someone who's leading people who also are unwilling to conform, but also ultimately are future leaders. Okay, so I am here to cultivate other leaders. That's it. I'm not here for no followers. Okay, so hopefully all this was clear and it reaches the right people, because I y'all, hey, hey, Gucci gang. Okay, I've been reaching y'all. I love that, and I want to say that, yeah, it's only gonna get rougher. I ain't gonna hold you. It's gonna get rougher, because defiance brings what? More chaos, more punishment, more consequences. When white people realize that you are unwilling to conform, they get angry. Okay, they start pulling out more stops. Okay, they start figuring out new ways to target you, new ways to get you to ultimately submit. But you ain't got to. And trust and believe, I never fucking will. And that's exactly why I'm gonna be ducked off somewhere, okay? Living my best life. As I'm doing now, I'm living my best life now too. Don't get it twisted. And understand that living your best life is an embodiment. It has nothing to do with your environment, because you can live in a shitty situation. Woo. If you've been watching my Twitch, you already know. You can live in a shitty situation, and ultimately, it is about the reality that you build in your mind that makes all the difference. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. Shout out to everybody that's still fighting the good fight. I know it ain't always easy, and I know sometimes you need to take a little breaky break, but take your break and get back in the game, okay? Because the game ain't over, but the game is changing. All right, that's it for now. Ciao.